What's good? Matt Clark here at the new Matt Clark. How are each and every one of you doing on this amazing Monday? I'm doing great. My girl's doing great. My family's doing great. Hope each and every one of you are doing great. And I hope you had a great weekend. It's beautiful outside. Honestly, the weather's been beautifully hot all summer long. I hope you guys are enjoying the weather. If you could please hit that like button, subscribe button, and that bell notification button to get all my videos when they're new. If you could share with somebody on social media, help spread the message, help spread the word, that'd be amazing. And there's a PayPal option if you'd like to donate, help support the channel. The link is in the description of most of my videos. So what's up? What's up? What's up? How are you guys doing? It's been a couple weeks, but I'm back. And today I want to talk to you guys. I want to just kind of explain to you what's been going on with me for the last 8 months. I think that's fair. We ride together, and I think it's been obvious that I was down. I think a lot of people had the wrong idea of how down I was, but I'm still going to go through it. I'm going to kind of explain to you what happened in my life and how my behavior differed from the past and why. I used to live on the cycle, like literally in and out, in and out, in and out. I would be out for a couple months, right? This is the first time in my life that I actually had a chance to establish some kind of a life. So I was still new, and I was in a 5-year relationship, as you all know, with somebody who I loved very much. And a couple weeks before Christmas, she broke up with me. And it completely caught me off guard. I had no idea it was coming. And honestly, it devastated my world. It wasn't just the fact that we were breaking up. We also lived together for years. I had to change my whole living arrangement now. My whole life just flipped upside down, right? So I went through a grieving process, and at first I started really angry, and then I changed from angry to grieving and sad, and then I got over it, and I had help. Honestly, fairly quickly, I started talking to somebody, an amazing woman, who literally was my rock through the whole thing, and didn't pressure me, didn't try and force me into talking about things, just let me kind of deal with it, and was supportive the whole way. And I can't tell you how much it fucking helped me. I can't tell you. I was destroyed. At first, I felt betrayed. I don't feel that way anymore. I think when I sit back and I look, there was clearly issues in our relationship. And I think I was blind, it's like going nose blind. You know what I'm saying? You get so content with your life that you stop really looking at the issues in it because you're comfortable and there's nothing drastic. And in my life, I was used to drastic. For something to be bad, it had to be drastic. But man, I'm telling you, it is one of the hardest things I've ever gone through in my life. I'd never had a relationship like that, like a long-term relationship living with that person. I'd never had that, and I had full out committed, and I thought that's what it was, but that changed. And then maybe a month and a half, 2 months later, boom, fired from my job. And that also fucking broke my heart, man. Because I was fired for something that was totally bullshit. I'm not going to talk about it on here because of it's like an NDA almost, right? But I will say that it broke my heart. And losing my girl of 5 years and my job of 5 years back to back, man, I don't think I've ever been that depressed in my life, Living in and out of jail and prison and through addiction and stuff on the streets is stressful day to day. But this was deep depression and something that I hadn't really dealt with in my life, despite the fact that I had gone through so many crazy traumatic things. But I think I always handled it differently. You know, I think I especially when I was younger, I was very hyperactive, very energetic, and go, go, go. So I think that's how I coped. I just kind of moved on with my life. And I did do that in this. You know, I like moved out right away and just moved on with my life. And I think for me, that was the best thing. And in the past, I was a guy that would run. You know, I talk about it a little bit on the channel, but I was what you call a fucking runner. It didn't matter if it was relationships, family issues, life issues, job issues. The only thing I didn't run from was a fight. Everything else, I ran from. Life got hard, I ran from it. Which is exactly why I spent my whole life the way that I did. Now, I'll give you a couple of examples of running. I remember when I was on the run from young offender, because I was always on the run from young offender, they'd put me in an open custody halfway house, which is a young offender halfway house. As soon as they put me there, I'd cut, right? I'd go on the run. And I remember I'd been on the run for a long time. I hadn't talked to my family in probably a year. And I was walking through Aurora, and my mom saw me and drove up. And she's like, Matt, you get in this car. We're going to the police station. And I cut. And my immature mind actually allowed me not to talk to my mother for like a year. Because I felt disrespected by her. You're really not the brightest when you're that age, okay? And then another situation of running from my problems, and this is a perfect example of catastrophizing, making a small situation into a big situation to justify throwing away my life, my freedom, whatever, right? So I was out, and when I was out, I got in an argument with somebody, and they threw a beer on me. I've told the story before. They threw a beer on me. And any normal human, what would they do? They'd take their shirt off, maybe their pants if they had to, go buy new shit. They'd wash, they'd get the beer off of them, and they'd go back to the fucking halfway house. But they wouldn't go on the run. But me, my genius mind, which already wanted to run, you know, I had already been thinking about it. That's who I was. I was a runner, which is exactly why I was never able to go to camp when I was in the federal system, because they knew that I most likely would run. Now, I grew up, and after I got into my 30s, that wasn't the case. But when I was younger, I was definitely cutting. But I remember using this beer as an excuse to go on the run from a halfway house and parole. I was on APR. So I had literally done like 6 months of a 27-month sentence. I go on the fucking run, which is going to now compound things. I ended up getting charged with a break and enter, which finished with a horrendous chase through fucking Richmond Hill, where they chased me down and humiliated me in front of all these people, right? And then took me in and gave me 3 years consecutive added on to my sentence. So I turned a 27-month sentence into a 5-year, 6-month, 1-day sentence. However the timing worked, right? And then I also got another charge when I was in Fembrook, and I got a 90-day conviction for trafficking in a federal institution, which I think they dropped a simple possession at a federal institution, and got 90 days, turned it into 5 years, 9 months, 1 day. Which I did the majority of my time. Because even if they let me out, I would be right back in. I'd violate my parole, I'd get a dirty piss test or something, and I'd be right back in. The running cycle doesn't help. Now, in this circumstance, in the past, I would have fucking boogied. I wouldn't have wanted to face any of it. You know, like, I didn't deal with pain normally. I would go get fucking blasted, maybe fight somebody. I don't know. I'd look for trouble, you know. That's what I did, especially when I was hurt. But this time, I allowed myself to grieve. I had an amazing woman by my side. Like, I can't tell you how much my new girlfriend help me, you know? She didn't try to pressure me into a relationship. She didn't try to do any of that. She was just supportive, amazing, and actually took a lot of that pain away. You know, I probably would have been 10 times more depressed and 10 times worse off if not for her. And that's just keeping it real. And I think I love her. I do. You know, we've been hanging out for 6 months now, I think. 7 months. We've been together for a couple months now. And I don't think I've ever felt this kind of love from somebody, you know, like where somebody actually gives a shit about how I feel, you know, and the things that I want to do. And my ex, me and my ex are super chill. She's an amazing person. And I don't want anybody to think that I'm not cool with her because we're chill. We just grew apart, and that's fair, you know. It was fair for me to be hurt in the beginning because breaking up with somebody is never easy. You know, how do you nicely break up with somebody? Somebody's always going to end up being hurt unless you guys like sit down and mutually agree to do it, right? But how often does that happen? Somebody's always going to end up getting hurt. And this, you know, sucks for me, was the first time in my life that happened to me. So I had to deal with it. And I did. And here I am. I got a big fucking smile on my face. And I'm chill. Life didn't fall apart. Even losing my job, life didn't fall apart. I got a new opportunity at a new amazing job. And boom, life literally just works in weird, crazy ways. You know? And if this was 10, 15 years ago in my life, I would have been gone. And I would have sacrificed everything I had worked for. I know a lot of people watching this channel, you know, they maybe don't think the way that I do, or they don't see things the way that I did. But for me, something as simple as that, as having a beer thrown on you, was enough to make me throw my life and my freedom away. It's not because that was the real reason. It's just I was always ready to do it. And I was just looking for an excuse. But now, in my life, I have true happiness, true purpose, right? And I never for 1 second felt like I was going to throw my life away. Or I was going to go fucking use. Or I was going to go fucking kick somebody's door in to make money. Like, these things aren't crossing my mind these days. So I don't know if you call it rehabilitation, if you call it recovery, or if you just call it maturity. I don't know what you call it. But over these last 8 years of my life, I would say, the changes in just the way I think, the way I move, the way I act, the way I feel are amazing. And every fucking person that watches this channel can do it as well. There's no reason you can't. And when I tell you that I was high risk, life gone, every single person who knows me figured life done. I was like the 0.00001% of the population that doesn't fucking turn it around. That was me. And here I am. So if I can do it, you can do it. If you're watching this channel right now, you're not in fucking jail. And if you are, you're doing pretty good time because you got a phone. But if you're watching this, you're not in fucking jail right now. So you can turn it around, my friend. And it takes some simple fucking decisions. Changing the people you associate with, anybody who's negative, who brings you down, out of here. And just change the small behaviors that lead to the bad, high-risk behaviors. It's really just about paying attention to what you're doing, you know. A lot of the time, we make what's called seemingly unrelated decisions. Like, in the moment, you don't feel like it's related to addiction or throwing your freedom away or whatever. But it is. It is. It's just, it's the gateway. and you subconsciously can put yourself in those circumstances sometimes when you're dealing with addiction and stuff like that. So if I'm standing here right now talking to you in this fucking podcast right now, or whatever video, it's possible. So, I want to say I love y'all, because I think that the support that I get from this channel and the accountability I feel to this channel, I honestly feel like that keeps me in line a lot of the time. Like sometimes when I just want to fucking snap and break something, because sometimes we all feel like that, right? Sometimes when I feel like that, I just think about the things in my life that are good, like you guys and my woman and my family and a lot of things. And sometimes in the moment, it won't feel that way. It'll feel like there's nothing good. But sit back, take a fucking breath, and just think, I'm fucking worth it. If you could please hit that like button, subscribe button, and that bell notification button to get all my videos when they're new. If you could share with somebody on social media, help spread the message, help spread the word, that'd be amazing. And there's a PayPal option if you'd like to donate, help support the channel. The link is in the description of most of my videos. So I really just wanted to catch up with you guys, but like, it's a good opportunity for me to kind of get this point across, like, there's not much in this world that is worth throwing your fucking life away for. And I don't care if it's a woman, I don't care if it's even your fucking family, to be honest. Like, protecting them for sure, but like, man, like, you got to think about you, and you got to think about you first. If you get you figured out, then maybe you can help somebody in the future. But right now, worry about you. Be fucking selfish. Get your shit together. Once you do that, help as many people as you want. Obviously, I love y'all. I don't know. I'll probably do a live like later in the week, maybe like closer to the weekend, and we can chop it up then. But I just wanted to kind of fill you in and keep you up to date with what's going on with me. And I know that some people were worried, but don't be worried, man. I'm good. I have a strong fucking constitution, and I'm not throwing this shit away. I love y'all. The new Matt Clark.